Welcome, beautiful soul family. It's Annette, aka Shorty Love, and today's light language transmission is for healing and releasing the fear of love and being loved. Love is such a beautiful essence. It's universal power, it's universal magnetism, it's universal receptivity and attraction, it's abundance, it's greatness, it's wellness, it's health, it's peace, it's prosperity. It's success. Love is bliss. Love is ecstasy. Love is gratitude. Love is one of the most highest vibrational frequencies that you can experience on this planet, and it is our eternal nature. It is who we truly are on a spiritual and energetic level. I always say we are all spirit in physical form. So that same love that you experience when you pray outwardly, that same love that you experience when you see a small, cute baby animal or a tiny infant baby, is the same love that you hold within you. It is the same love that you came to this planet with. Today is a remembrance of this love. So if you have been led to this video, if you have been led to this transmission, it is because you are ready to experience love again at the deepest level. It is because you are ready to unblock your heart, to unlock your portal of magnificence, and to realize yourself as you realign with the truth of who you really are. As we are born onto this planet as babies, we embody this divine love, this divine presence of unconditional love. We radiate this innocence and this purity out into the world. And anyone we see and touch and look at and smile at instantly ignites the spark of love within that person. Even the grouchiest and grumpiest of people, seeing a baby laughing and smiling, it brings love into their heart and tears of joy into their eyes. That is who we are, family. That is what we are. It is time for us to take our true power back. It is time for us to realize that the power of love, rather than the love of power, is what is going to change and shift the trajectory on this planet. That the power of love has the ability to heal any sickness, ailment, dis-ease, any type of illness within the body. It has the power to heal broken relationships. It is the power to dissolve the narcissistic characteristics, traits, qualities, and tendencies that we have been programmed and subjected to. It has the power to dissolve the limiting belief systems and the ego-based defense mechanisms that serve to only cage us in and lock us up away from feeling this bliss, feeling this love, feeling our divine birthright to be able to love and receive love freely. There are many reasons why we can shy away from love or block ourselves off from giving and receiving love. In most cases, it's unconscious and subconscious. Most often, if you did not receive unconditional love as a child, or you always felt like everything you did was dependent upon conditional love, you had to act a certain way, behave a certain way, be a certain way in order to receive love. And if you did not act that way, if you did not play that character, if you did not play the role that was sufficient enough for others to feel comfortable, for others to feel like you were being a good girl or a good boy, then you did not receive that love. Then you had that love subtracted from you. It was taken away from you. And so you learned to behave in certain ways, especially if you're an empath or a light worker, especially if you're a highly sensitive person, highly sensitive being, and you feel life on such a profound level. You feel life at such an innate level of your being. You most likely thought, and I know this is true for me, you most likely held this belief that everybody saw the world the way that you did, that everybody loved the way that you did, that everybody was as open as you were to life and to the experience of life. But at that age, you most likely didn't recognize that just like you, other people grew up and they came in contact with other people, friendships, relationships, came in contact with co-workers, went into the quote-unquote real world, the system, the matrix, and they ended up most likely closing off their heart space because of painful experiences that they may have been subjected to, or they may have witnessed, or they may have experienced on a physical, mental, or emotional level that made them close off their heart space. And we've all been through this, fam. It's part of one of our lessons on this planet, is to learn how to love again, learn how to open up our heart space again, and realize that our heart chakra is the direct portal to source consciousness. It is the portal that connects all of our chakras, all of our energy centers together as one. It's the midpoint. It's the part of ourselves that needs to be open and receptive in order to be able to receive, in order to be able to channel, in order to be able to open up all of our faculties, all of our telepathic abilities, all of our divine, psychic, clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairaudient, all of those clair abilities. We all have them. We do not need to look outwardly for these traits. We already hold them within. And the more we can open up our heart space, the more we have access to this divine wisdom and this divine knowledge, to this divine truth and knowing that we are all that we seek. Many of us have been in friendships or relationships, I call them, relationships, karmic relationships, in order to learn. And most often karmic relationships are the most difficult because they are there to teach us lessons, which in a roundabout way turn out to be our greatest blessings and gifts, because we learn how to strengthen ourselves. We learn how to become a better person from these experiences. If we allow these experiences where we have experienced pain and trauma to better us, to strengthen us, to help us become the greatest versions of ourselves, to help us to tap into a higher state of consciousness, then we really begin to tap into the gift in each lesson that we experience. But if we allow these experiences to be a be-all and end-all type of situation where you feel like that happened to me, that person broke my heart, that person did me wrong, that person caused me trauma, that person is a narcissist, this, that, and the other, then we're constantly projecting outwardly and we're never giving ourselves time to focus internally and to focus on the area and aspect of ourselves that that experience was mirroring back to us, so that we could heal and cleanse that aspect of ourselves and no longer be an energetic match to those situations. So if we took that pain, if we took that heartbreak, for example, if you were cheated on, if someone left you when you were pregnant, if your family abandoned you, if your lover abandoned you, if your friends betrayed you, and you internalized that experience as if it was something to do with you, as if you're a bad person and that's why people did this to you, then you most likely broke your own heart in that process. And because we're not taught how to see things from a different perspective, how to perceive the world from a higher perspective, maybe at that time we weren't at that consciousness, at that awareness, so we just perceived it how we felt on the inside. We felt hurt, we felt pain, we felt betrayed, we felt heartache. And so we may have internalized it thinking that there was something wrong with us. And that energy then continues to attract similar situations to us, different places, different faces, but the same energetic match of what we're carrying inside to reflect back to us that we need to heal that we need to love ourselves and realize that everything that happens in our life is in order to enable us to become a better version of ourselves, in order to enable us to really break open in such a way where your heart is open. It's out there. It's alive. It's beating. Because anybody who carries a broken heart or the energy of a broken heart for a really long time, it can cause illnesses like heart attacks. It can cause severe heart problems and heart palpitations as a physical manifestation to help you to see it in physical form and do something about it. And so what I want us to realize at this point is to start to reframe and shift our consciousness when it comes to matters of the heart. Understanding that from the moment we were born to where we are right now, our soul orchestrated all of these experiences so that our soul could evolve and expand and transcend back into a state of oneness, so that we could recognize unity consciousness is something that comes from within. Unity consciousness itself is being able to hold and maintain your alignment in such a way that no matter what anybody does to you, says to you, no matter what happens on the outside, it does not have the ability to move or shake you out of alignment. It does not have the ability to misalign you and pull you apart from your authentic self. See, when you're aligned to your higher self, you're aligned to your soul, you're aligned to your inner knowing, your innate truth, and your intuition. And so anything that has the ability to move you out of alignment with that is signaling to you that you need to love yourself more. Enough to say, I do not give anybody the privilege to make me feel any type of way. My happiness is my responsibility. My sadness is my responsibility. Everything that I feel from within is about me. It's up to me to decide how I heal and transmute and alchemize these energies, or how I utilize these energies to the greatest benefit, to the greatest good. See, when you're in alignment or you're in a state of love, unconditional love, and you're holding your vibration, you are able to direct that energy to any part of your body and being that needs healing in that moment and send that energy into that area. For example, if you're having a physical ailment and you're in a really high state of loving energy, you can close your eyes and visualize that energy being directed into that space that needs healing. And that energy alone is going to bring you so much relief, and it's going to begin to heal you. But you must believe, fam. You must have faith. You must trust in yourself. And the more you practice this, the more you're going to develop and cultivate that faith and trust in yourself. And the more you're able to really allow this energy of love to flow within you and within your being, the more you're going to be able to trust that connection. The more you're going to be able to feel comfortable with opening up your heart and with giving love freely and receiving love freely. So I invite you to affirm that now. I give and I receive love freely. That is something that I always say. And I give and receive abundance freely. Because abundance can mean an abundance of anything that you need at that time, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's peace, whether it's love, whether it's vitality. When you're putting out that energy into the world and you're saying, I give and I receive abundance freely, you're letting the universe know that you are in a state of divine flow and that there is no blockages. You're fully receptive, you're fully open, and you're fully allowing to what comes and to what goes. And when you're in that state, you are in a state of unconditional love. You can look at everybody and every experience as a blessing, and you can be grateful for the ones that have hurt you the most, because it's often the ones that hurt you the most that push and direct you into healing. Because most often, if we're in a happy state all the time and we're ha 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 la la la, in a good vibe all the time, we're not going to want to work on our internal stuff. We're not going to want to look at our internal stuff, because in that state, that's the last thing you're thinking about. But it's when people come in or situations happen that trigger parts of us that are in pain or that have been wounded from this timeline or alternative realities, alternative timelines that we're still carrying, whether it's generational trauma, ancestral trauma, parental trauma, stuff that's been sent down through your lineage and your bloodline, whatever it is that you're carrying, whether it's your own experiences from this lifetime and previous lifetimes. You're not going to become aware of those things. So these people who hurt us, they are messengers, and we must always be grateful to them. And the more grateful you can be to these people and these experiences, the more you're going to understand the significance of the role that they have played in your life. And the more you're going to be able to see them through the eyes of Source, through the eyes of love, because you will begin to see yourself through the eyes of Source and through the eyes of love. And then you can truly begin to forgive. It's when we heal from our own wounding and become consciously aware of our own wounding that we actually begin to have compassion for others who have wounded us, because we realize that they are carrying that wounding. Hurt people, fam. Only hurt people can hurt people. When you're in a state of love, the last thing you're ever going to think about is hurting somebody else. So people that are out there that are completely off the rails, psychotic, sociopaths, whatever you want to call them, they're extremely wounded and traumatized, and they don't know how to regulate their emotions, and they don't know how to deal with their emotions, and they have basically internalized everything, locked off their heart space completely, and now they're operating completely from a state of ego, and they're more receptive to negative energies and low vibrational entities that basically can house their being and control them, tell them what to do, tell them how to be. You see, that's why it's very important for us to stay connected with our heart, because when we're connected with our heart, then we're more likely to be receiving from Source consciousness. We're more likely to be receiving from our higher selves and our team of light, and from our ancestors that are protecting us on our journey, rather than those ancestors who may not be protecting us on our journey. So the more open your heart is, the more protected you actually really become. A lot of people close their heart off because they have this misconception that closing your heart will help to protect you from being hurt. But the truth is, when you close your heart off, you're more susceptible to being hurt and hurting others, because you're actually completely closed off from the portion of you that has the ability to allow high vibrational good energy into your life. And when I say this, I mean that when you're closing your heart off, you're actually inviting into your life, and you're bringing in experiences that are reflecting back to you all the pain and all the hurt that you are still storing within you, all the fear of love. So other people are just going to continue to mirror that back to you and continue to hurt you, or you're just going to continue to hurt other people because they're going to feel justified, or you're going to feel justified in doing so, because that's the energy where you're vibrating at. So once you open up your heart, any experience that comes your way, even if it's a hurtful experience, you're going to realize that it's got nothing to do with you, that it's coming from within that person, and you're no longer going to internalize it. You're going to give them back their energy with love and light. You're going to maintain your sovereignty. You're going to maintain alignment with your truth. You're going to stay within your heart space, and you're going to keep your heart open. The greatest thing that you can do, and one of the most challenging things to do on this particular planet, is to keep your heart open no matter what, fam. Is to keep loving. Okay, it didn't work out with that person. It didn't work out with the next person. It didn't work out with the next person. That's fine. What did you learn from those experiences about yourself? Did they bring you into a deeper state of alignment with yourself? Did they push you to heal the areas that you were overlooking and avoiding? If they did, thank them. Thank them for that experience, because we are all just divine messengers to one another, and we should never try to hold on to anybody or try to suffocate anybody's energy by attaching ourselves to one another, or having conditions, placing conditions upon one another. If this person does this, then I will love them. Or if this person behaves a certain way, then I will love them. But if they don't, I will retract my love. That is not love, fam. We have had to bring this other word, unconditional, in front of the word love, just so that people can understand the difference, because society has misconstrued the word love. People have associated the word love with pain. They say pain is love, or they say pain is pleasure, or pleasure is pain. This is the most bullshit thing that you can ever believe. Pain is pain, pleasure is pleasure, love is love. And when we allow them to be what they are and stop associating these energies with each other, then we will no longer need the label of unconditional love. It will simply be love. But for the purpose of this, and the purpose of where we are as a collective at this time, we can still utilize the word unconditional love until us as a species can come into the state of realization that love, it is unconditional in and of itself. So with this transmission, it's time to let go of the fear of love. And as you let go of this fear of love, you're going to begin to love yourself more fully. You're not going to fear loving yourself. You're not going to feel bad about it. You're not going to feel awkward about putting yourself first. You're going to be able to do that. You're going to have immediately instant healthy boundaries because of that. Your heart portal, the more you strengthen it by loving yourself, by being there for yourself, by looking after, loving and nurturing and caring for yourself first, the stronger your electromagnetic field becomes. And the harder it is for low vibrational and negative, toxic, distorted energies to penetrate your field. We've been doing it backwards, fam. We've been closing off our heart and making our energetic and auric fields and our electromagnetic fields so weak that literally anything can penetrate our field, that we literally tolerate anything from anyone. And even if we think we're not tolerating it, because later on we go and have a little bitch about it, in that moment, we're most likely tolerating it to some degree. We're allowing certain things. We're giving permission to certain things that do not serve us to our highest good. But when you open up your heart and you begin to really go deep and you start to love yourself in such a way where you realize you are love, you are source, the God or the universe or the spirit or the energy that you seek outwardly, the amount of love that you project outwardly when you're in a church, when you're in a temple, when you're in a mosque, when you're in a place of prayer, that is what you are inside. You are that. So if you can give that much love to yourself as you give outwardly, Source feels that. And Source loves you even more because of that. And Source knows when you come to that state that you are able to be blessed with the responsibility to be able to help and heal others, to be able to heal those that you come into contact with rather than hurt them. We are all healers, fam, but we have forgotten this about ourselves. And it is time for us to come back to this knowing and this realization. And this knowing comes from this state of deep love. When we become one with the divine, when we know that we are the divine and the divine is us, then the divine begins to work through us in such a way that we bring so much love, so much bliss, so much peace, so much strength, and so much healing to all the lives that we touch. Then we truly become the divine messenger. Until then, we're basically just messengers to help each other and mirrors to reflect back to each other. But once we really come into that state of alignment with our truth, then we become the divine messenger. And I believe we are all divine because we are all part of that consciousness. We are all part of Source. We are all from the same source of creation. So set your intention today, fam, that you're going to begin to open up your heart and love yourself and love others freely and allow others to love you freely. Because as long as you are closed off, you will continue to repel the very thing that you are wanting, which is love. We all want love. We all wish to connect in a state of love. That is something that we all have in common. And so when you start to really love yourself, you're able to attract others into your life who can love you at a greater capacity, like you've never been loved before, because now you know your worth, now you know your value, now you know who and what you really are. You will not accept any less. You will not tolerate any less. Your energy field, your electromagnetic field will immediately repel anything that is less than what you are. So in every case, be grateful, continue to open up, and release your fear of love and being loved. Love freely, fam. Even if the person on the other end is not able to receive you in the way that you are giving, it's okay. They will still learn something from you. They will still heal from you. They will still be triggered in some area or some aspect of themselves that will force them to look inwardly and learn how to love themselves. That is a great service to humanity. You loving yourself and having your heart open in all situations and circumstances is your greatest gift and service to humanity. So take a deep breath in. Bring your conscious awareness to your heart space and see a big, beautiful orb of emerald green light growing and expanding in the center of your heart. And as it grows, it taps into your higher heart space, which is a beautiful pink orb of energy that is swirling around this emerald green orb. And visualize these two orbs of light merging together and becoming one in the center of your heart space. Bringing peace, bringing balance and harmony, bringing unification and alignment to all aspects of yourself. Bringing healing into your heart chakra and your higher heart chakra, opening up your heart portal, dissolving all fears, all worries, all limitations, dissolving all resentment and unforgiveness, hostilities, breaking you free, breaking you open, allowing you to breathe true love, real love, unconditional love for the very first time. Let's begin. I invite you to tap gently on your heart space throughout this transmission to open up this area, to help activate this area, and to help you align with your true love vibration.
Iscindiaratatakisci itiniratato, I am love. Indiratata koshuriatate taratata, all is love. Indiratata undurututu ushititi, I embody love. Indiaratate kashataratato shundurutu, I am aligned with the frequency of love. Undurututu kututititi, I am the love vibration. Hatarataschi, handarututu turututu, I give love freely. Andirito kutushtinyananata, I receive love freely. Atarata ushchitititi, I bring love. Trutushtinitititirato, trutushchiti to all the spaces that I am in. I bring love to all the lives that I encounter. I am the remembrance and the reminder of love. It is my purpose to love. I love with passion. I love with pleasure. I love with openness. I love with bliss. I love with ease. I love with grace. I love with gratitude. And I receive love with gratitude. It is safe for me to love. It is safe for me to be loved. I allow love into every aspect of my being. I ignite every cell in my being with love. I bring healing into my body, mind, and soul connection with love. I ignite and fill my organs with love. Strengthening your electromagnetic field now to a state of love, frequency, and vibration. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. I loved that transmission, fam. No pun intended, but I really enjoyed that transmission. I have tears of joy coming out of my heart because that felt so beautiful, so liberating, so refreshing, so loving. And I really hope that you felt that too, fam. My deepest intention is that it brings so much love, so much light into your life, and that you are able to release the fear of love and attract true love, real love into your life from all beings, from all aspects of this source of creation. I love you all so much. Take care of yourselves, stay blessed, stay high vibing, and I will connect with you shortly. Peace.